of the times you see on the internet that people start with a trimmer, all right? The reason why they start with a trimmer is because they're advanced enough to take it out. When you put that harsh line in with that trimmer, it's harder to take out. Also, whenever you put the trimmer line in, you always want to go against the grain like this. You never want to go direct. There's two different ways to hit with the trimmer. It's direct and indirect. When you think about direct line, that's when you put somebody's hairline on their head. When you think indirect, it's when you're going up to it to scrape to make it appear that it's completely bald. When you go direct, it's harder to take the line out because just think about trying to take somebody's hairline off after you made the line real defined, all right? So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start right with the closed clipper. And then after the closed clipper, I'm gonna follow it with the trimmer. Please don't get my forehead in the video.
No. Your face is not.
I'm so over the forehead.
I'm not, man. I might ask for these footage. Come on, hold your head straight, man. All right. As you can also see, what am I not doing?
Well, your hand was covering us on the side, sorry.
All right. But it's something I'm not doing.
Going past what's that called?
The occipital?
Nah,
I'm like right where the occipital is. What's something
You making
else?
short strokes.
Pause. No.
Okay.
All right. You don't see me walking around the chair.
Oh, yeah.
I'm using the chair to spin towards me. Reason is, when I'm cutting, I don't want to have to reach over the client or walk back to the station. I want to stay in a pocket where if there's any time for me to grab something, I can just go here. All right. Also, I'm not blocking the mirror when I do that as well. I'm not cutting behind the client like this. And as I'm spinning the chair, as I rotate, the client gets two things. He gets to see how the haircut is actually shaping out, and he gets to see the mirror twice. Because once I'm finished, I'm going to spin him back around to the beginning.
So could I judge the midline by this right here? His line right here? This point right here?
Yes.
Okay.
That's considered the mid fade.
Okay.
All right. Now, mid is also in relation to the client's head structure. If somebody has more real estate,
right,
then the mid might be lower. All
okay.
right. But I'm thinking about where his point is. His point is here for his line. If I went above that, that would be considered a high fade.
Okay.
All right. If I'm going to think about low fade, it'll be more here, and then it would drop underneath the occipital.
Okay.
All right.
Is that what Devin is doing over there, right? Because I saw it drop low.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what he started off with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So now we're gonna start with our one guard. All right. Also, as you comb out, like I said before, you see how you have pockets where he has light, dark spots? It's not because somebody cut his hair incorrect. That's because of the way his hair grows. So you also want to make sure that one, as you're cutting it down, you bear in mind to where those light spots are, because if you go against it, it's going to get lighter. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the closed clipper into the dark areas and see how that pans out, and then see if I'm going to lower or if I have to go against. So I'm going to start with my one guard open. Let's go with the grain. All right. It's not taking down a lot, but it's also allowing me to do what? I can pass on this side because it's not bringing it as low. All right. But I'm going to bring it down just a little bit more. So now I have a good comparison.
Should I do one guard just in case? You want that bent over?
Yeah. Fuck it, hot one. All right. So that's that light spot that I was talking about. Now round it.
I'll do one close.
Bring it back around. Also, you always want to make sure, one, you're holding your client's head up so that you can actually see how you're cutting.
No, he wants it pretty low. Like you want me to light that up, right? Yeah.
He wants to like almost like close clipper. All right. So I'm knocking down the majority of the weight. All right. Then I'm thinking about how the crown is set. All right. So the top of his head where his crown is, this is your swirl. his hair pushes this way. So if I'm going with the grain, I wanna make sure I'm cutting the hair that same way. I don't wanna cut the hair a different pattern because then I'm gonna go against it. It's gonna make it lighter, all right? Ooh.
It's good, Josh.
Yeah, got that seniority. She's pulling up later and later. You don't care. Alright. Also, I'm a lefty, right? But I have to make sure I use what? Both hands. If I'm on my left side, yeah, this is comfortable. It's ergonomically sound. By the time I get to there, right, I have to switch and use my right hand to keep that still ergonomically sound. Now, if I'm trying to cut and I'm trying to only use my left hand, I'm gonna end up twisting my wrist like this. Over time, it's gonna hurt my back. I used to cut with somebody back in the days that used to cut like that. I think he still does. I don't think he uses his left hand. But he mastered it, you know, he can cut way longer than me. All right. Now after I bring everything down, all right, dust them off a little bit. Good, Kobe? Yeah, you all right. All right. Now, so from here, I'm gonna use my trimmer, all right? So now you see like that little bit of passage I did with the trimmer? I don't bring my trimmer line all the way to where my first format line is. I bring it close enough so that I can still blend it out, all right? So I'm gonna bring that. You good over there, Dad? Bless. Thank you. And you see how I'm leaving just that little bit of faint line in between. Because what I don't want to do is make the line with the trimmer, and it's going to be harder to take out. And now this is what? Direct or indirect?
Indirect.
Oh. What's up, boss? How you doing? Cool.
I'll take it.
Okay. Alright. So now you see how I'm leaving that space. I'm not worrying about getting all the way to the line, just close enough.
That was a sneak.
Cool.
Supposed to be like, I gotta get out his back just a little.
So now we have something that's called a second format, all right? On our second format, what we're gonna do is we're gonna break our fade, all right? So this is our desired height, which is skin, right? Then there's gonna be a pocket where you wanna make sure you have a transition point from your darkest to your lightest to your skin, all right? And in that transition pocket and breaking the fade is also gonna set up your positioning because your point to your fade.
So once you're doing that second, you start open, then
Start
mid,
open.
then close.
Yep. And it sets up, one, my positioning, and it sets up my borders as well. So some people like to erase this line at the bottom, but it depends on your preference. Some people like to fade from the top down or from the bottom up, all right?
You're doing from the top down.
You're doing it from the top down.
Can I ask a question, please? Is there something?
My one and 1/2 close is equal to my 1 guard open. So now it's gonna look like I'm in the same exact realm, right? But it's still taking off a little bit of the weight, but not a lot. So that's open. Midway. You see how it's a little bit shorter, right? Because I'm getting closer to where my cutting blade is. All right. So now you see how I'm blending this into this, and then from this I'll blend into that. All right. So now I'm closed, fully closed, a little bit shorter. Bloody. definitely about to eat some ice cream. Kobe, you know I ain't planning on coming in here and cutting no hair, right? Alright? Now I'm fully closed, right? So now when I look in the mirror, right? When you look in the mirror, my fade is already done as far as when it comes to the transition, right? So now I can see where my darkest section is, my lightest, and then that's my skin section. So by the time I get down to my 1/16, 1/16 open. Turn your head, Kobe. Midway. And now, your open clipper and your 1/16 close is what?
Your 1/16 close
And my open clipper are what?
about the same.
About the same. So now when I get down to my closed clipper, right? After my closed clipper, I'm gonna go to my what? My open clipper right after this. So my blend is already there. So now when I go open clipper, right? Remember your zone and your pocket. That's why I like to leave those two formats, because it always sets up for where it's supposed to be. You're not guessing when you're doing it. So now I'm gonna go open.
I gotta trust the process.
I'm gonna start right from the front. One, I wanna make sure he holds his head up, all right? So I wanna go here to brace. I'm gonna start right from the middle.
You didn't hit, this your first time touching that, right?
What?
You just you sprayed it and then combed it out, and it's your first time with the trimmer?
Mm-hmm.
I see the difference, okay.
So you see how I'm not fighting with the line?
Yeah, I see it.
All right.
It kind of comes out a little.
So the first time I pass, and then I want to pass again. All right. Now, some people like to go like this. You see how my hand's going to reach up? I don't want to reach up. I want to keep everything in that same level.
I'm using the right side.
Mm-hmm. And then for that corner. Boom. And the only reason I started from the front because you get the skin fade. So there's no ABCs, all right? Sometimes you have that little pocket like here that you can get a little bit of line on, but for the most part, you really don't need it. All right, boom. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the opposite side.
So when the skin fade, you don't do the curve, the seat.
Nah, because it's already balled out. Only thing you're gonna do if you do that is cause more irritation to the head, to the client's skin.
Would you wax him?
If I would still do the ABCs on a skin fade,
Like the
Okay.
C cup.
because it's
curve.
it's already
Yeah.
skint out. All right, so you see how I got that light corner, all right, but I want to use what?
Corner of his
Corner of that eyebrow.
eyebrow.
All right, boom. Party done. All right, for the little kids, right? Less is more. All right. And I can hit that little pocket at the bottom like I did on the other side. Give it that little curve. And that's it. Now I can keep on combing and hitting and getting it sharper. But you know what happens when you keep on hitting something, right?
You push it back.
You're gonna end up messing up, and then you're gonna have to do something that you don't want to do. All right. So now for that little bit of faint line, I'm just gonna use that trimmer to just knock that little bit out. Because remember, my trimmer line is at the very bottom. So just clean that up a little bit. But when your clippers are pretty much zero gap, when you use indirect, you don't really have to go into it as much. All right. So now on this side, I said I wanted to come up with that 16. I didn't like the way that looked in that pocket. So I'll bring that open up.
So that's where you had a light spot.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Party done. Make sense?
Yes, it does.
Makes a lot of sense.
Hit 'em with some alcohol.